Vayikra Chamishi. Now the Torah introduces us to Korban Chatas, a sin offering. The Torah begins, Parak Daled, Pasuk Aleph and Beis, with an introduction. Da'arbel b'nei Yisrael ne'emar nefesh ki sechta b'shgaga, when a person will sin by mistake. The Torah is giving a person an opportunity to rectify. And it's interesting, the Korban Chatas for the most part is for a shogeg, for something done by mistake. It wasn't completely unavoidable, but it was an accident. And for that a person is held to a standard. We're held to a standard. And the Torah immediately continues, without telling us the details of the Korban Chatas of an individual, it switches to telling us about a Par Kohen Mashiach, the anointed Kohen, which is another way of saying the Kohen Gadol. If the Kohen Gadol made a halachic ruling that something was permitted, and then realized that it was actually an Isser Kares, a very, very severe prohibition, then he has to bring this special Korban Chatas called the Par Kohen Mashiach, which the Torah discusses the details of how it's brought. It's interesting that one of the steps is that the blood was sprinkled on the paroches, on the curtain, and the Mizbeach HaTorah, which was the inner Mizbeach. Most of the time, the blood of a Korban was sprinkled on the outer Mizbeach. That's where most of the avoda of most Korbanos were. The fact that this was done inside, which is something that's unique, almost unique, not exclusively unique as we see from here in some of the other Korbanos, but it's mostly unique to Yom Kippur. It shows you the great level that the Kohen Mashiach, the Kohen Gadol, is held to making a mistake. If someone else relied on the ruling of the Kohen Mashiach and also made a mistake, he would not bring this special Korban, he would bring a regular Korban Chatas. But this, for the Par Kohen Mashiach, when he made a mistake and when he sinned based on his own mistaken ruling, then he would bring this special Korban. Then the Torah continues by telling us about another Korban Chatas called the Par He'elam Dover. He'elam Dover means something that was hidden, Shel Tzibur, of the public, when the public made a mistake. And this time, the Sanhedrin, the greatest Bezdin, the greatest court of 71, if they made a mistake in Psak, if they made a halachic mistake, and the majority of the nation sinned, majority can either be 7.5 Shvatim, 7.5 tribes, or a majority of the actual numbers of the population. Then the Ziknei Ha'edah, the elders from the Sanhedrin, 3 members of the Sanhedrin lean on the animal, they do smicha, and then here we see that the blood is sprinkled on the paroches among the other steps that are done in unique Korban Chatas. And finally in this aliyah the Torah discusses about Asher Nasi Yechta, when a Nasi will sin, the Nasi being the king. But it's very interesting that the wording is Asher Nasi Yechta, that the Nasi. Very strange word, says Rashi. Ashrei, praised is the king who sins, in the sense that he fesses up to it. The worst thing is when a person makes a mistake and out of shame or whatever other reason they try to bury it over. The Nasi stands up and says, I made a mistake. Ashrei. Ashrei is a very strong word of praise. Praise is the person who fesses up and is manning up and takes responsibility for the mistake they made. Praised are we when we have leaders like that. Everyone makes mistakes. Ashrei, that the Nasi will stand up and say that he makes a mistake, and the Torah details the special Korban Chatas that he brings as well.